Good evening. Thank you for joining us for Music Minute at Epiphany Lutheran Church in Richmond, Virginia. I'm Kevin Barger, the Director of Music Ministry here. And this is our opportunity to look at our hymns for worship tomorrow, the 25th Sunday after Pentecost. We are approaching these last days here. Of course, Christ the King will be next week. So today we are going to go in reverse order. So the sending hymn is first, and that is Thine the Amen. Thine the Amen, Thine the Praise. We've talked about this hymn before, and it was written in the summer of 1981 at Holden Village. It was actually the 10th in a series of things that were written. And the way the story goes is they would do a Bible study one day, and then the next morning they would sing a text and tune that reflected on that Bible study. So Herbert Brokering would write the words, and as Carl Schock would say, he had to come up with a tune by 3 p.m. in order to get it, ready and run for tomorrow morning so that everybody would have it and they could do it and so forth. This actually came as an idea from Herbert Brokering. There was the tune called Now, that's Now the Silence, which is one we sing during communion. And this was to be the then to the now. So the tune was originally called Then. And it morphed over time into Thine, which is now the tune name that we go by. And so this is how they went together. It was first actually published as an anthem, not as a hymn. So it was written in the key of D flat, which is what we will be singing in 2 weeks. On Christ the King Sunday, the choir will actually be singing the original anthem that was done in D flat. In the hymnal, it was changed to the key of C. I don't know why. But it's not the original. And this version that I'm playing now is a very surreal version. You'll hear the melody, I think, pretty clearly, but it's just a very reflective, introspective, slow, and contemplative kind of setting of Thine the Amen. almost unsettling at times, some of the wonderful chords in there. Okay, we are going to move to the piano for the next two, and our next hymn, the hymn of the day, is When It Seems the Day Will End. This is another new hymn from our All Creation Sings supplement, and this song was commissioned by Humble Walk Lutheran Church in St. Paul, Minnesota. Justin Rimbaud, the person who wrote it, was the artist in residence there in 2011, and he wrote the song, and it was steeped in this imagery of Lent and Easter. And he was at the same time acknowledging the breadth of human experience in Christian life. The stanzas are rooted in the presence of God's promise, new birth, and God's dwelling in our hearts. The refrain then comes back in with images from the beginning, ashes, and the end, new life of Lent. So as we look at these end times, you can see how that fits into the conversation that we'd be having. So this is When It Seems the Day Will End. I'm going to flip over to the piano. So another wonderful addition from our new All Creation Sings hymnal. And last but not least for tomorrow is Oh, Happy Day When We Shall Stand. And this was written for the General Convention of the Norwegian Missionary Society. And in the Norwegian church, it's actually been said that this hymn, since it was written, has scarcely a mission service been conducted where it was not used. So it is very commonly used with them. And the text writer was known to preach in an evangelical fashion while maintaining a strong emphasis on the sacraments. So focus on that in the words tomorrow when you are going through it. So this is Oh Happy Day When We Shall Stand. So, oh, happy day. Thanks for joining us this evening again. And if you're joining us online tomorrow, 10:30 on our YouTube channel. And if you're in person, it's 8:30 and 11 o'clock. Thanks so much for joining. We'll see you later.